I think once you're a Girl Scout, you're always a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts gives you that for a lifetime. You're always connected to a bigger sisterhood and know that you have support and resources out there if you need it.
One day I had to be about maybe 7 or 8 years old back in Fairfield, Alabama, where I'm from. And I remember riding my bike around the park, and I had on some jeans and a white t-shirt, and I saw a group of girls standing around singing with their troop leaders, and it looks like they were having a membership drive. And so I felt like I didn't look the part because they were all in their nice little uniforms. And I went to the bathroom and tucked in my t-shirt and went over to the table and introduced myself. And they gave me an application about how to join Girl Scouts. And at the time, my mother was alive and we didn't have very much. Maybe 2 weeks later, there were 2 ladies at my door knocking to invite me to join Girl Scouts. And I will never forget that. They made sure I had rides to the Girl Scout meetings. I still don't know who paid for my Girl Scout uniforms, but I'm just so blessed and humbled that they presented me with that opportunity to allow me to be a part of Girl Scouts.
I really have fond memories of being a Girl Scout. I was a Brownie to start out with, and then I went on and I was a Girl Scout. And I remember we decided to do a bowling badge. And I believe at the time that was the first time that Girl Scouts had done a bowling badge, so it was pretty fun. And I also remember I was always pretty studious and liked to read, so the big thick manual that we had, I read it from cover to cover, and I knew all the rules and regulations of being the perfect Girl Scout.
I was a Girl Scout, I was a Brownie, and then I was a Girl Scout leader. It means to me a community of friends that you actually do productive work together, and being able to take on new challenges, to really be able to connect to other people, no matter where they were from or what their age was really a great experience that got me set up to be able to manage my life and to lead.
I both participated in sports and in sort of all-female activities like the Girl Scouts, and I think there is something powerful about the opportunity to just be around girls and women, and the chance to explore what you're good at, learn about what other people are interested in and good at. And so I think those all-female activities were really an important part of my upbringing.
One opportunity that I think of with Girl Scouts is that they have in-person and group activities so that young girls can learn how to consider other viewpoints and also communicate their own ideas in a safe environment, a welcoming environment.
Most of my mentors were men in my field. Later in my career, when I sort of transitioned from purely military things, I did have some pretty amazing women that showed me that that you didn't have to just be one size fits all, that leaders come in all different shapes and sizes and styles. And I think a lot of times people try to say, oh, women, they're going to lead like this, and men, they lead like this, but it's all over the map, right? And that is something that I finally learned once I started working with so many more women.
I think role models make all the difference. So in my work, leadership is important, mentorship is important, but one of the things that Girl Scouts does is provide sponsors, and that is incredibly important because sponsors really take the hand of that girl or those girls and they show them how they can achieve really great things. They give them essentially the tools, but they also say, we believe in you, and I think for every young woman and for every girl, that's critical.
Well, I still see that girls are at a disadvantage in this world and in this country. We see it every day in the news. We see the challenges that girls still face. And here we are in 2018 and we're seeing a lot of the same things that we've seen over the years. So they need our help. I needed that help, so it's important for me to give back and make sure that we provide opportunities for girls to achieve and make sure they reach their full potential. It's the right thing to do, and it's the smart thing to do.
Ruth is a friend. She's a mother. She's a grandmother. She's a dedicated community activist. And she's a person who really lives her values. I nominated Ruth Fountain Ide as a woman of distinction because I couldn't think of anyone who has contributed more to her community, to girls and boys, to men and women, by her just tireless dedication to making sure that others have opportunities. Whether it's in her 80s, helping build houses for Habitat for Humanity, or working on the Community College of Aurora Foundation to ensure that we had scholarship money for students. She served on City Council in Aurora. She served on Planning Commission. Our community is stronger because of her great contributions.
When we think about the Girl Scouts and the community of women, females, that it brings together, that you have this ecosystem that really helps to move the next generations forward for change and for society. So it's powerful.
Dream big, and then make your decisions to reach that goal. What we do every day determines our future. I feel very strongly about that. So take control of your life and your decisions, and you will succeed in what you want to do.
Know yourself, define yourself. Don't let other people define you. Appreciate who you are and give to the world.
There's a saying that says lifelong learners lead. And I think that is so true. And so I want to tell girls to be open to learning and trying new things. I want to tell them to believe in themselves and also be themselves. And really, it's our responsibility to help these girls advance their interests because they're our future leaders and our change agents.